Good morning. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up the Evita V800 ventilator from the company Trigger. But before that, I'm going to show you the parts and the consumable that we are going to be using. First is the intersurgical dry circuit, but this ventilator can also be used for the heated or the humidified circuits. The next would be your inspiratory port. So the inspiratory port goes into the machine at an angle, which I'm going to be showing you in a minute. Next that I'm going to be showing you is the expiratory valve. So I just want to point out that this is a diaphragm, and you have to make sure that this is actually attached to the expiratory valve. Otherwise your ventilator's SSD will fail, and it has a water trap at the bottom. As per the company's recommendation, this can be used up to 7 days. Or if there are again shortages, obviously this can stay a little longer. We have two filters that I'm going to be showing you next. These are the bacterial and the viral filters, which should be used changed every 24 hours. It has to have a date and a label on it. Next would be your flow sensor, and if you'll notice that there are wires inside, and they are quite sensitive and easy to bend. So just be very careful, because if you bend them, you won't be able to use them. So that's your flow sensor. And last, I'm going to be showing you the self-test lung, which we will be using to assess the ventilator. So I'm just going to put this on the side as I'm going to show you how to actually set the ventilator up. So again, this is the Evita V800 ventilator, and I have already turned the power on, or turned this ventilator on. So first that I'm going to be showing you is how to put the inspiratory port in. So it goes in this angle, and then you just twist it to lock it in place. And next would be your expiratory valve. So what I do is I connect the flow sensor to the expiratory valve and put this on the machine as a unit. So lift up the cover, and you can push this in as a unit, and then you have to twist it to your right to lock it in place, and then put the cover down. And then you have to attach your bacterial and your viral filter now. So it attaches to the machine like that. And now it's time for your intersurgical dry circuit. So we're just going to attach this to your filters, and then we will take the red cap off and connect the test lung to start your SSD. Again, this is the Traeger Evita V800 ventilator. So on the screen, there is a power button right in the left corner of the machine, and there is a battery indicator. Over here is your rotary knob and your silence alarm button. So we're going to start doing the SSD by pressing the start button right under the system test. So if you press on that, it will turn into amber. And if you look at the rotary knob, it lit up to sort of an amber color. Just need to confirm it using your rotary knob, so you just need to push on it. It says that, is there a secondary acoustical alarm signal audible, so you can hear it? So then you press yes. And the next question is the inspiratory hose connected to the inspiratory port, and the expiratory hose connected to your expiratory port? We tap yes. And is there a humidifier connected? Is the humidifier connected correctly or not used? So we're gonna press yes, so we're not using it. And this part here, preparing calibration with high temperature, this is expiratory flow sensor fitted correctly. We're gonna answer yes. And is the test lung connected? So that's a yes as well. So this part, it says, do you want to calibrate the internal gas sensors? So it can take up to 3 minutes. You may or you may not. At this point, we will say no. And then we'll proceed to the O2 supply check. So obviously, these part here have already been checked. The next would be this column here where it says air supply, pressure sensor calibration, inspiratory valve, auto sensor calibration, and lastly the nebulizer port. So we're just going to wait for all of these tests to happen and for the machine to complete that test before we can proceed to the breathing circuit. So O2 sensor calibration just takes a little longer compared to the rest of the tests under the system test. So again, we're just going to wait for it to finish up until the nebulizer port, and then we should be ready to do the breathing circuit next. So again, the interface is pretty straightforward and it's very user-friendly. And it's very to use indeed. So we should be ready shortly to do our breathing circuit test. Right, so if you look over here, it says that the system test was successful. To proceed to the breathing circuit test, touch yes. So we're just going to touch yes. And we are just going to start the breathing circuit test. But if you notice here, we're going to be using the HMA filter, and we're just going to press start. And then again, press the rotary knob. If you go back to this corner here, it says connect the breathing circuit, seal the patient port, and confirm with OK. So that means we have to remove the disconnected test lung and then cap it off with the red cap, and we press OK on the screen, and it should proceed to testing the machine or the circuit for the leakage, compliance, inspiratory resistance, and expiratory resistance. So it just says it's determining resistance. And now we have to open the patient port and confirm it OK. So it's basically just disconnecting the expiratory port from the tubing, and then we're going to press OK on the ventilator. So it's going to proceed testing. And now the breathing circuit test was successful. We're just going to put this circuit back on, and now we are going to proceed to the patient and therapy, where you can set up the mode of the ventilator you want. So again, we use the adult, we use the tube if the patient is tubed, and then we have to identify what the ET size of the patient is. And then right over here are your settings. So you have your pressure controlled BiPAP, your spontaneous CPAP and pressure support, and then your pressure controlled APRV. So if you touch or tap on that, it should take you to the setting that you want. So that's basically how to set up your Evita V800 ventilator from the company Traeger. Thank you for watching this video.